Hey guys, so let's take a look at creating an interior scene. First up, we're going to need to import some CAD and make the walls and windows. It's going to be pretty basic modeling, and I'm going to make this as quick as possible so we can start creating awesome images. So it's not the most exciting bit, but trust me, we're going to need walls and it's going to get exciting soon. So for now, let's get this shell modeled. If you already know how to do this and you're following along with the interior bedroom scene, then feel free to go to the resources section and download the scene file of the room that I've already created and move on. But you never know, you might pick up some tricks from the video. So first up, let's download the resources for this section. So let's open up CAD Start and we'll go to File, Import. We'll go to where we've downloaded the CAD and we'll open up Base CAD. All the defaults should be fine, so just hit OK. So our interior scene is in, so first thing I'd do is hit Ctrl A to select everything, and I would change the colour to black as it will make everything easier to see. You can also hit G to turn the grid off, and now we can see everything nicely. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that the CAD's coming in the correct scale. So I'd create a box and just measure the width of this door. So around 70 centimeters is fine, so that works. That was 69, so that looks about right. So we can delete that box. And to make the walls, we're going to draw an outline and extrude it up. So to do this, we're going to go over to Create and Line. So we're going to right click up here on Snaps Toggle and make sure only vertex is selected, and in options that you've got Snap to Frozen, Enable Axis Constraints and Display Rubber Band on. So now if you press S, you'll see that when you go to create the line, it snaps to the CAD. So what we're going to do is quickly draw around the CAD plans, and you can always go back and straighten them up. So I'm going to quickly do that, and I'll probably fast forward this. So now with our line selected, we can go to Modify and select Vertex, and we can just go through and make sure that everything's lined up correctly. You can drag in certain axes to line them up to other verts as well, but I think in general we've got most of this spot on. Okay, now we're going to add an extrude modifier. If you type EX into the modifier list, this is the quickest way to navigate if you know what modifiers you're going to use. And we're going to make these walls 240 centimeters high. And we're going to do the same for the other line. So just make sure you selected the line, not the CAD. Go to the modifier list, press EX, extrude, and that will come in at 240 as well. What we want to do next is add an edge poly. And we're going to scroll down and attach this wall, so they're now one object. You press P and zoom, P and Z to zoom. And next up we're going to create a new box, and we're going to make that new box 2 meters high. So you can drag it in, and we can go in later and type 200 here. And we're going to use this as reference height for our door, so the door is going to be 2 meters. So select these walls, go back to the modifier tab, select edge, and in the front view by pressing F, just select all of the vertical lines, press P and Z again to get back in perspective view, and scroll down a bit and just find connect, hit connect and OK. And with snap still turned on, we can pull these up and snap it to the 2 meter high reference box. And now they're lined up, we can turn edge off, select this box and delete it. And now with the wall selected, let's select face or polygon. We'll zoom in and we'll select these two faces. I'm going to hit delete and then change my selection to border, select these two and hit bridge. So you can see now we've created a door, and we're going to do the same for this window. So again, let's make a box, and we'll make it about 60 high. And we'll do the same thing we did before. We'll select the walls, go to edge, and then in the front view, select all the edges, and we'll hit connect. And we'll snap that to our reference box. We can turn off the selection, select the box and delete that. And in Edit Poly, select the polygons, delete them, select the borders and connect. Oops, sorry, and bridge. And we'll do the same for the top. Hit delete, borders, and bridge. Now let's quickly make the floor and ceiling. So to do that, we can right click and hide selection with the wall selected, so we can't see that now. Just turn off the grid by pressing G. And let's create a line again. And snaps is on, so we can just draw around this. Close the spline. And we'll go to perspective view by pressing P and Z. And again, we're going to add an extrude modifier, but this time let's make it -10. And we're also going to name this floor. And I'm going to press F for front view, Z to zoom, and right click and hit unhide all. So now we've got our walls back. And holding shift, I'm going to click and drag this up and make it a copy. I'm going to call this ceiling and hit OK. So now we've got our ceiling and our floor. And let's just go through and quickly name this walls. And I will select all the objects and change them to grey. Press P and zoom and F3 to see our room. And if we actually change this to standard, you can see now we've created our room. So in this lesson, we have gone over how to quickly model a room using the create line function and the extrude modifier.